Hey, it is Nikiana, and it is the weekly reading for the week of January 18th, 2016. Welcome! Are we ready to start our week? I guess so. We don't really have a choice now, do we? So, our first tarot card this week is the King of Wands, which is a taking initiative card. The King of Wands is really asking us to step up and be a leader this week. You know what you're doing, you're capable, and there's no excuse why you can't step it up and take a little initiative and kind of push things forward this week. There is nothing to be gained by being timid and holding back right now. And as we're moving into the middle of the week, we have the Ace of Swords. And what I'm seeing the Ace of Swords as this week as being the cutting through the bullshit card. And when you cut through the bullshit, what happens? You gain clarity. So really start paying attention to what is and is not working for you. Because it's all about cutting out the stuff that is not working for you right now. Which brings us to our final tarot card for the end of the week, the Eight of Cups. So, with the Ace of Swords, we cleared our path, and now we have our path forward so we can move on under the full moon. How exciting is that? And I see the Ace of Cups as calling us to really examine our emotions as we're now moving on and into our next phase. And really check in with how we're feeling about that. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of shadow work this weekend, so be prepared for that. So to recap that, we are at the beginning of the week, beginning to take initiative, which is going to give way to kind of cutting through the bullshit. So that confidence is building and we are kind of coming into our own domain. And towards the end of the week, we're really realizing that we're really moving on to the next phase of our lives. So, yay! It's going to be a big week, guys. Which brings us into our oracle cards this week. And our first card is from the Lavish Earth deck by Amy Whitson. And this deck is a crystal affirmation deck. So it's kind of our crystal of the week as well. And that crystal is Iolite Sunstone. And this is a stone that is connected to courage and compassionate and being a good leader. And I kind of like this deck because it has a quote that's around the edge, and there's a description, and then they give some keywords. And the keywords for this stone are heart, leader, courage, and compassion. And I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, but one of the things I really liked that was on this card was, it said, "This is a regal stone associated with the energy of a leader who is greatly loved and loves back with all and then some," which I feel ties in really well with our first card this week, the King of Wands, who is also a compassionate leader. So keep in mind the compassion, too, at the beginning of the week when you are stepping into that leadership role. And that's probably why you're good at that. Being a leader is because you are a compassionate person. And our next oracle card comes from the Magdalene Oracle, which I love. I believe this was the first oracle deck I ever bought, and it is lovely. And our card is the Family card. And I think the Family card is really calling us to look at our roots this week and remember where we came from, and seeing what lessons we can learn from where we came from. And I feel like the Family card might be kind of connected to some of the shadow work that's coming up this weekend. And I think the Family card also kind of encompasses more than just your family of origin. It's also taking a look at the lessons that you learned from your community growing up, the lessons you're learning from the community that you're in now. Examine the things that you valued 5-10 years ago versus what you are valuing now. And take a look at how your family and your community has influenced the things that you value. And have you shifted away from what their values are into what your values are? Do you all have the same values? It's worth looking at. And our final card is coming from Gabby Bernstein's Miracles Now deck. And I think this is kind of the guiding principle for the week. Dissolve all boundaries with love. And really keep this in mind with any challenges that come up this week. How can you bring love to the situation? How can you bring compassion to the situation? And I think this card is a really poignant one when paired with the Family card, because Sometimes families are difficult. Sometimes the communities you come from have things about them that are difficult. And how can you kind of shine light on the lessons you learn from them and shine love on them, you know? And that is our reading for this week. If you would like a personalized reading, head on over to my Etsy shop at nikiana.etsy.com. I have this really great thing going on with some handwritten readings, and you get a card from my adorable little pocket deck, which I am dispersing, along with a handwritten reading, mailed straight to your mailbox. Or you can head on over to my blog at nikiana.com to see what I'm writing about this week. And if you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to see you here again. If you've got any feedback, please leave it in the comments. And have a wonderful week. Love your faces.